welcome to another episode of Caldenberg Consulting TV. I am your host, Brian Caldenberg. Today we're going to talk about e-newsletter marketing. We're going to break down a few different scenarios for how a company might use e-newsletter marketing, but it's really just an excellent way to stay communicating with your existing customers. It's an excellent way to generate repeat business. It's an excellent way to generate referrals. And it's an excellent way to maintain top-of-mind brand equity. I'm going to basically use two different situations today. The first is for restaurants. That's one area where I see, especially privately owned restaurants, I see a lot of them dropping the ball. And there's actually a restaurant here in Iowa City called Guido's. It's a great Italian restaurant. Me and my wife go there. It's got great pasta. It's a nice little atmosphere. It's got great wine. The problem is we only go there about one time a year. And there's another restaurant here that we go to maybe 3 or 4 times a year that's not near as good as Guido's, but this other company does a really good job of sending us actually direct mail. They don't send us e-newsletters, but they send us direct mail. And because of that, we take advantage of those offers and we go there. So I'm going to use an example of how this company, Guido's, could use e-newsletters to increase the frequency of customers coming into the door. The first thing that they would have to do is they would need to collect an email address. And probably one of the best ways to collect email addresses from your customers, no matter what industry, is to offer some sort of monthly or quarterly or biannually giveaway. And a perfect way for Guido's to collect email addresses both on their website and in their restaurant would be to offer maybe a $50 gift certificate every month they're going to give away to a winner. And you have to be a member of their e-newsletter in order to have a chance to win. And the great thing about free giveaways every single month announced in the e-newsletter is that's an incentive for A, someone to sign up for a chance to win, but B, they open the newsletter because they want to see if they won. And so you're really killing 2 birds with 1 stone with the free giveaway incentive. So that's how I would have Guido's collecting email addresses. Now, what would the e-newsletter be talking about every month? And this would, for whatever business you own, you would have to think of something to talk about that's interesting. Because if you're not interesting, if you're not providing something valuable to your customers, you're not going to get any results. So they have really good wine. What if they brought in a new wine every single month? Describe the wine, where it's from, put the price for the wine bottle, and then said, order a bottle of wine, get it for half price this month if you order 2 entrees, or something like that. Some sort of offer to get people in the door. But not everyone's going to take advantage of your offer. If Guido's has 1,000 people on their newsletter list, maybe that wine offer is enticing to maybe 5% of the people. But let's say you also include at the very bottom of your newsletter, or maybe on the right side, happy birthday to this month's. If your birthday's this month, come in to Guido's for your birthday. A lot of people go out to eat for their birthday, and if Guido's reminds people of that, and maybe even reminds them that you get a free dessert, or you get 25% off your bill if it's your birthday, that's going to hit another 5% of the people. If you got 1,000 people, a good chance 8 or 9% of them, it's going to be their birthday that month. And so if you can get some of them in the door, you're going to increase frequency of your traffic through your restaurant. So you got the birthdays. What about reminding people, what about before, maybe in Valentine's Day? If your newsletter goes out the very first of every month, in February you might want to remind people to come in for Valentine's Day. June, May, you might do Mother's Day. June, you might do Father's Day. And then maybe pre-holidays, you might remind everyone about your Christmas and company banquet services. So that's another way to repeat business. But the main thing is, these offers are all great and they're going to get people in. But if you're just hitting your customer every month, let's say they only read your newsletter once. Let's say Guido's is sending out a newsletter 12 times a year, every single month, but this person only reads it one time, they still are hitting, or they're just opening it up, see if they won, they're not even reading it and deleting it. They still are getting hit in their mind every month. Guidos. They're opening the email, see if they won, deleting it, not even reading it, but they're getting hit with you 12 times. They're thinking about Guidos 12 times. So when they're sitting around and they're going to go out to eat on a Saturday night, and they're tired of going to maybe Texas Roadhouse, or last week they went to Red Lobster, the chance of them deciding to go to Guido's is much higher just because you've hit them so much. Maybe they got your email last week and they say, you know, we haven't been to Guido's for a while, let's go there. I'm hungry for pasta. I really love that one wine. And they come in. So that is really one reason why you should be doing e-newsletter marketing, because it increases the frequency. Now, same thing with a realtor. A realtor, you think somebody does business with a realtor maybe on average once every 7 to 9 years. As a realtor, you could use email newsletters to just maybe quarterly stay in touch with your existing customers. And if you are touching them every quarter, when it comes time to sell or buy a new home, the chance that they go back to you for the sale or purchase of their second home is going to be much higher than if you haven't touched them at all for 7 years. That's one reason you need to do it if you're a realtor. Or I'm not just realtors, businesses that maybe are lower frequency type items where you might think, well, an e-newsletters doesn't make sense for my business. Yes, it does, because of right there, what I just said. But also, think about referrals. Think if you're hitting all your customers once a quarter with whatever you're talking about. Maybe one thing is how to spruce up your yard for resale value. You would have to come up with that. But if you're hitting once a quarter, all your customers are getting touched from you 4 times a year, the chance of them referring you out to another person is much higher. They might be sitting at a business function, or maybe they're on vacation, and this person mentions, oh yeah, we're thinking about selling our home. You've been touching them every single quarter for the last 3 years, let's say. The chance of them saying, oh, I know a great realtor, yeah, he did a great job with our property, the chance of that is much higher. So that's where an e-newsletter can even fit into the business model of a company that doesn't necessarily have a high frequency repeat customer. And then the reason I'm so adamant about e-newsletters is the cost and return on investment. I've been running a company, GameRosters.com. It's an e-commerce business that we actually sell things online for over 5 years now, and we actually have 21,000 people on our newsletter list. And if I was going to send out direct mail to 21,000 people, let's figure 40 cents a crack. That's including printing and postage, and then all the time that would go into that. It would cost me, if 40 cents on 20,000 customers, that'd be $5,000. Well, I'm only spending $30 a month with the service I have right now, and I can communicate with all 21,000 of my customers. So it's much cheaper, it's greener, it's trackable too. You can track how many people open your newsletter. If you send out 1,000 direct mail pieces, how do you know how many just threw them away? How do you know how many actually looked at it? With email marketing, you can actually see how many people open the newsletter. So it's a great way for you to build rapport with your existing base and generate increased repeat business. Thanks for watching today, guys, and I'll see you next time.